Hey everybody, how we doing? How we doing? It's Andre here, and this is We Global. No, not the living room. This is just us here on We Global at the moment. So when Mark did the live earlier this week, and we talked to Stacy in Barbados, a lot of people were going, "Hey, show us what's going on in Barbados and what this is looking like." And so we thought, "Hey, well, let's do that." I know even though there's a lot of stuff going on Facebook and YouTube and different places showing the different how the dust is affecting people, we thought, well, let's bring that here to Be Global as well. So today we're gonna have a little drive through a little parts of Barbados. We're gonna talk to a few people. We're gonna see how the dust is affecting. We know that this morning, there was another eruption as well, and that dust has already reached Barbados and has affected Barbados already today as well. So we're just going to find out how that's going, how people are coping with it. 1 minute you think it's over, and then another eruption happens, and here we go again. We got to do a cleanup. So I think this cleanup process in Barbados is going to be ongoing. It's going to last a while. But through it all, if we got to clean up, that's okay. Because to be honest with you, our hearts are really with the people in St. Vincent at the moment, especially those people who had to evacuate from the north. Their lives have been turned upside down. And I saw Prime Minister Gonzalez was saying yesterday that most people don't want to get evacuated to other countries. They want to stay home. So loads of St. Vincentians are just staying at home, and they're just waiting to see how things are going to work out. They're going to write it out. Some of the farmers got to get back to see how things are going to be. But, from some of the reports we've been seeing, it's not looking good at all. So even though we're going to look at Barbados, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we might get to do the same thing with St. Vincent a little bit later on today. But we're going to look at Barbados. And even though we're looking at Barbados, as we said, our hearts and thoughts and prayers are really with the people of St. Vincent, who, even though Barbados might be seemingly having a hard time, the Vincentians are having an even harder time at this point in time. So who we got on the ground for us in Barbados? We got a good friend, Ronaldo. He's there. He's going to drive through. He's going to talk to a few people, see how they're doing, see how they're coping. And we can just kind of look and see how certain areas have been affected. We might get to see what the airport looks like, or over that way anyway, different businesses, and just see people in the different villages and neighborhoods and see how they're coping with it at this point in time. So let's bring Ronaldo in. We'll have a chat with him, and then we'll go from there and see how this goes. This is all live, guys. So obviously, if Ronaldo drops out, we're just gonna bear with it, and we're just gonna bring him back in. This is all live, nothing recorded here at all. So thank you guys for taking up some of your time this lunchtime. I think it is. We should probably call this something like lunchtime lime, or it's lunchtime, or something. So I think there was an ad of chocolate, all that, But anyway. Thank you guys for joining us. And we got Ronaldo in. Ronaldo, how's it going?
Hi, good afternoon, guys.
Yeah, how's it going with you?
Well, it's going okay. Let me say, one of the hardest tasks right now is if you want to know, you're wondering if it's rain or if it's ash. You can't tell because outside it's overcast, and you can't tell if it's rain or ash. Right now, there's an ash falling, but because the streets are so dusty and dry, the wind picks it up and it takes it all over. So it's not as bad as it was over the weekend, but no, it's just dealing with the ash and the dust.
Yeah, I can imagine that, and I guess people are dealing with different respiratory illnesses and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Any advice has been going on about that as well?
They're telling you to wear a mask, but not the ordinary cloth mask. They're advising that you use the N95 mask, or even the mask that the painters or any person that deals with paint or chemicals use that particular type of mask.
Okay, that's interesting. I saw someone on over social media saying that those prices for those masks has gone up tremendously as well over the last few days.
Yes, everything. It seems as though everything has gone up based on most reports that we're getting. Everything has gone. I don't know if it's due to the COVID-19, if it's due to the ash fall, or some may even say because of the raise of the minimum wage.
I mean, okay, yeah. No, that's true, because I saw that got legislated recently as well.
Correct.
But I mean, even though Bajans are obviously feeling the effects of the dust, the general sentiment though is not focus on yourselves, but focus on the people of St. Vincent.
Correct. Actually, a friend of mine messaged me last night on Facebook and said they had another eruption last night, and it was crazy. He said He's there working with supplying water, so he can't. I asked him if he left. He said he can't evacuate as yet because he's dealing with making sure that who's there get their water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I guess it's well. I suppose Vincentians might have been dealing with some rumblings and stuff before, but any Bajans that they're on the island might not have been, dealing with it before. So it must be something new.
It's true.
And you know,
As I said, the last time this happened was 1979.
79. Yeah.
I asked my neighbor who was going to join us shortly. I asked him one question. He said, I asked him if it is as bad now as it was in 1979. That was like the first evening. He said, wait till the morning. So when they went over, when they went over him the next morning, he said, "You see, we didn't have to wait till morning. It's worse now than it was in 1979."
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear a lot of people saying that, especially how fine the dust is and the
Yes,
impact that's happened on everyone's home. You experiencing any of that yourself or any of your family? I mean,
everyone
as
is.
far as how it impacted,
All right.
your house and stuff,
Well,
because the weight of
well.
it and
All right. Well, not the weight, because it was light, but it was thick, but it was kind of light. It was very small particles. The most thing we had to do was wash down. Most of the windows are sealed and stuff like that, so we weren't getting any ash inside. But luckily for us, we had the windows closed, but outside was rather cool. The ash had outside cool, so you could it was bearable staying indoors with only fan on, so it was okay for us.
okay, okay. Well, folks might. It'd be great then if we can just take a walk around, see what's happening, see what your neighborhood
Actually,
looks like.
my neighbor who's my mechanic, the same one I asked the question, he's right here, right now.
You
He's
right?
doing
Okay,
some work. So we're gonna
okay.
start him. We're just gonna switch the camera first.
Yeah, switch the camera and have a chat with him.
Actually, he's right here, right now.
Oh, he
We talk
cleaning
to
down.
him. His name is Vernal, but we call him Goose. Actually, this is what he's doing. Uh, Goose, tell me a bit about how the ash has been affecting you.
As you can see right here, a lot of cleaning, too much cleaning.
And you're a mechanic. You have how many vehicles you have out here right now?
About 12 years ago, here right
And
now.
I think this is not the first time we've seen you done this. You do
Uh,
this every day.
last 5 years.
You hear that, guys? He said the
Yeah.
last 5 days he's been doing this. So every day he
Wow.
comes out. And the thing about it is, although he might not get the ash fall, see the road is very dusty,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
dusty. So
But I mean, even with him being a mechanic, then even this dust gonna affect people's engines and what's not as well, right?
That's why you're trying to keep people vehicle clean.
Mm-hmm.
Affect the job, everything, not just the engine.
Yeah.
well, my vehicle is old, right? That
Uh-huh.
is my vehicle. It's an old vehicle, but my brother washed it off of me. He asked me, was the paint skinning? I said it was skinning, slightly, but after the asphalt, it's almost taken off all the clear off the top.
The funny just like
Mm-hmm.
the top of the gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he cleans this every day. Okay,
Whoa.
every day he cleans this.
And at this point, you don't know how long this is gonna go on.
Well, as you said, they had another eruption last night, but I've not, I've not heard about how the ash will affect us as yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, well, well.
This is
Well, thank Goose.
this is after the fifth cleaning, right?
The
This is after,
15.
yeah, this is after the fifth cleaning, right? After the fifth cleaning,
Whoa.
Right.
the big blocks.
You take a bill block. So just want to say,
Yeah, yeah,
I think,
yeah.
I think he said he's going to make the trek with us to they're going to as far as Oystens.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he might go and change quickly and take the trek with us.
You take
So I
the
just
train.
want to, yeah.
And where are you? Where are you in the on the island, Ronaldo?
We're in Chapel. We're in Chapel, or
Mm-hmm.
some people would say Church Village,
I
but
St.
it's
Philip.
like all is one in St.
Okay,
Philip.
so southeast.
So
Okay,
I'm
cool.
just going to show you some of the roads, and we're going to get in the vehicle and we're going to take a drive. Um, I think I see one of my neighbors here. He's here washing down. Let me see if we can get a quick word with him. Right. So this is where he lives,
Mm-hmm.
and washed off the van again this morning.
Right.
But we be constantly. All right. Let me show you a simple example. All of this stuff that you can see in the road here right now.
Mm-hmm.
My brother actually all of the pilot
Okay, well we lost Ronaldo there for a little bit. As I said, we doing this 100%
Yes,
live,
one.
so this is gonna happen every now and then.
Sim.
He's back.
Decker.
Ooh, just as he was back, he's gone again. But look,
It's
we gonna
possible.
we
Let's want to know how the ash has been. Right. That's as you. Oh,
Okay, so we can just give him some time and just hopefully he comes back there. As I said before, we're doing
give me a
this
minute.
100% live, so every now and then this is gonna happen. We can
All right.
just go with it. We can just write it and go with the flow.
All right. Turn off. I turn off the Wi-Fi. Okay.
All right. Okay, you're back now. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm back. All right. We just here talking to. We call him Decker, but his real name is Age, right? We just asking how is the cleanup going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the it bad for the rain and the temple little ash.
Yeah. And that's what you're doing cleaning right now.
Right.
I've been seeing you here doing a lot of cleaning throughout the day, so yeah, all right, that's good. He's here cleaning up the guttering, as you can see. Well, go ahead,
Yeah, yeah.
go ahead, go ahead. Let's see what you're doing. It's taking the guttering, right?
Yeah, but we're not on the different
The height.
that really did the hook so much, but that we need.
Okay, so
Even if I had brought a ladder,
okay,
it'd be better.
okay,
Hmm.
understood. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
it's a two-story house, so it's a bit high, right? So
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
got the right equipment to get up
all
there.
right. The ladder, as you say, the ladder is narrow, so isn't much space that he can work with there. So
A maneuver. Yeah, yeah. He probably needs someone to hold it too.
yeah,
if
yeah.
you if
And
you
he,
can go
and
to the two-story
he's here
house.
working by himself, so
Yeah, you gotta be
he has to
careful with
take his
that.
time. Yes, he does. All right, well, we take another walk through,
Yeah, let's take a
and
walk through and see.
all right, thanks, man. So there's an area here by the shoe repair shop that has a lot of dust.
Hmm.
You're hearing me good now, right?
Yeah, hearing you perfectly. Keep going.
Because my cousin, I told my cousin about it, and she just messaged me and said, and she told me I was breaking up a bit.
Yeah.
All right, I think yesterday evening when they took a walk,
Hmm.
because most of them was driving, they didn't realize how much ash had deposited in certain areas. So, but I can only see my neighbors, they were working. I posted a video on my Facebook when my neighbors were covering down with this car.
Hmm.
So it had a lot of ash that day. I think that was the Sunday.
Right.
So this is Chapel Land. This is number 6.
Hmm.
So
Well,
just
so
taking
loads of loads of dust everywhere, and people just trying
yes,
to clean up.
yes. But here I wonder if the shoe repair guy, if he's home, and we could talk to him for a bit. Then he would come back, and then he would head to
You would head down the
Citrus.
road.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here on top of this little hill here,
Hmm.
um, that's where I think I saw a majority of the. Right, there was a lot of ash up top here last night.
Right.
Could not believe it. So we thought the shoe repair guy. As you can see, all this is ash.
Hmm.
It's deposited here on what we call top of the hill.
Right. Is there
But
still every now and then still waves of ash falling as well, or is it pretty much
well,
stopped at this point?
it's pretty much stopped. He's not there at the moment.
That's
The
all right.
ash has stopped. So we'll take a drive to Six Rose.
Hmm.
We'll stop in the gas station, and
Hmm.
I mean from here to Six Rose, there's not much that you can see
Right.
actually. So, but do when I get to Six Rose, when I get back in the vehicle, I will just show you and you put me back on.
Yeah, that's all right. All right.
So,
Yeah. So you go ahead and do that.
right.
I'll probably bring a Mark or something like that, and we have a chat while you're doing that, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, Mark, know what's
Yeah,
happening
well,
there in St. Philip, man.
yeah, man. And the thing is, it looks so familiar, seeing some of those places that I used to run around as a boy.
Yeah,
I
you're
know
a
this
church
is,
village boy, aren't you?
of course, of course. Yeah, but it's really interesting to see the impact and how people are just, having to put so much time and effort in to, recover their premises. and the amount of water that's being used, because that does sound as though that is going to become a little bit of an issue if it isn't already.
Well, I've been hearing some reports that it is already becoming an issue,
I'm
actually,
not
because
surprised.
everybody's power washing and doing everything like that, and it's taking a lot of water to move the ash. So if you're trying to move it off of your property and you're gonna power wash your driveway, the house, the car, the guttering, and everything like that, it's gonna take some water. And if everyone is doing it at the same time, well, the pressure on the resources is going to be something else.
Yeah, well, guys in the chat, if you can let us know what you are doing around your property, and how much of an issue you're finding in terms of water at the moment, because this seem to be one of the issues that's going to get out of hand quite quickly if we're not careful, actually.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and you don't want it to happen, especially as you don't know how long this situation is going to go on. Also, you got schools and what's not going back to school, the kids going back to school. So obviously you want to make sure that your water resources and water levels are at a level to support all the kids at school as well. So, there's a lot of potential issues that could happen there if we don't get that under control. But again, when do you wait, right? It's one of those things that if you don't get rid of it, it will just build up and then it becomes even harder. So I suppose people are saying, let's get rid of it in waves, and as it comes, you keep doing. But you got to find a way that you're not using a lot of water all the time.
The thing is, but dust is such an irritant, and it is something that is really, really difficult to sit down and see around you without, instinctively wanting to do something about it. And that's just regular dust.
Exactly, because you could close at the house as much as you want.
It will find a way in.
It can find a way in. So, and especially if it's falling consistently like this, and it's very powdery stuff that I'm seeing there that everyone's been showing us over the last few days. So that's going to get in. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about that.
Yeah, and it's really important now that people do what they need to keep their properties tidy and try and get rid of some of the irritation, because the one issue that I'm sure people will be concerned with is the whole respiratory problems. That is an area that I'm sure will start to become a real problem again if it hasn't already, because with all this dust in the atmosphere, there's only so much mask you can wear as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then the masks themselves aren't very comfortable either.
No.
So if you got to get out there and get out and about, it's not going to be very comfortable wearing the N95 mask. And in some cases, you're being advised to double mask. So if you got one of the lighter masks underneath and then the N95 mask on top of that, I see some people out in goggles, because obviously, again, it's fine particles that go in your eyes and it's dropping everywhere. You got your hair covered, you're wearing long sleeve in 30 degree heat. Is not going to be easy. And the same, especially for those in St. Vincent as well, again, we're talking about Barbados and we're looking at the effects of the dust and the ash in Barbados. As I said before, we're trying to see if we can do the same thing in St. Vincent, but as you can imagine, everyone is dealing with what's happening at the moment. And just last night, there was another eruption. So just getting hold of our contact there to see if we can get on the road in St. Vincent and see how people are doing and how things are going. That's proven a little bit difficult, but we'll keep an eye on that one, because we potentially might be able to do that later.
Yeah, and I think that'll be good, because it's I heard today somebody started to change the narrative a little bit to say the economic fallout of this is something that we're going to have to quickly turn our attention to, and I think a lot of that is around the loss of the agricultural sector, and we haven't been talking about that yet, naturally, because we're not quite there, but it's coming.
We're still in the throes of the crisis of the ash and still dealing with the volcano, and we don't know how long that's going to continue for. I saw Dr. Robinson saying that the amount of ash and stuff is going to subside pretty soon now that the dome has blown off and what's not. But again, that might be good for people in Grenada or St. Lucia, or definitely in Barbados if the ash fall subsides. But the people in St. Vincent are still dealing with the uncertainty of not knowing how bad the eruptions are going to be. And we saw earlier as well while watching either Searchlight or Eyewitness News, one of those where the pyroclastic flows has reached the sea. And that means it's pretty much leveled some towns and villages as it fell down and going down towards going down the side of the mountain, going towards the sea. It's pretty much leveled some villages and what's not. You saw people standing by some boulders that were humongous. obviously going down the hill. So St. Vincent themselves, again, they're still very much trying to deal with the crisis, because I see water is a problem definitely in St. Vincent.
Oh,
And
yeah.
loads of water has got to go there. I see Trinidad sink quite a lot, Barbados and Grenada and St. Lucia, Venezuela even and Bolivia sent quite a lot of stuff there. But yeah, the water issue in St. Vincent is going to be quite an issue as well.
I think that's been one of the real heartwarming things to see in this crisis. It's hard, it's difficult, but to see how the Caribbean is starting to rally together. I mean, you would expect us to, but it's just good to be able to see how we've been coming together and trying to work without having to look externally for immediate help. We can help each other. We can help each other to sustain ourselves through this crisis and really get ourselves back on our feet. That's been very heartwarming to see, actually.
Yeah, especially as everyone is dealing with obviously vaccines, COVID-19 and what's not. So easy to say, hey, I got my own problems kind of thing. But that has not been the case across the region at all from any of the countries. And that's really good to see. And I think the quickness and the speed in which people have responded, to get boats down there, to get,
Oh, yeah.
to get water and blankets and clothes and even toys for the kids, that kind of stuff. That's been pretty good to see how quickly things have been mobilized through the security system across the Caribbean. So that's been heartwarming,
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I can see Ronaldo is still there on site, getting ready to move. So we're gonna drop back on with him shortly.
Yeah.
But a quick shout out to one or two people who I've seen there in the chat. A couple of regulars. Valerie, how are you, man? Good afternoon. What are you up to today? I can see Carla Mack saying hello. Hello back to you again, Carla. It's good to see you. And Eunice Thompson, good afternoon. Hope you're having a good day. And to see Anne Blackman
Blackman.
has jumped in there as well. And good afternoon to you. And she says she's cleaning like mad.
Yes. Yeah, I think everybody's cleaning like mad now across Barbados. So I was talking to one of my friends in Grenada as well, who was saying, they've had some, obviously has not been as bad as Barbados, but it's bad enough in that it's been constant, it's been fine. I suppose the thing with Barbados is that you saw when, almost had 48 hours of night almost in Barbados, whereas Grenada hasn't been as bad like that, but the dust is still there. And I think sometimes and she was saying that's the part that's kind of, you didn't really see it because you saw what was happening in Barbados. That wasn't happening in Grenada. But then the next morning you still see the dust all over the place, So they didn't have the sun blocked out. It wasn't dark, it wasn't night, but, it got there too. And I see the southern part of St. Lucia having the same issue as well.
Yeah, and the OECS is a real family, and even though they might not be feeling the physical effects of some of the ash and stuff, we know from observation that the OECS islands will rally quite strongly to support St. Vincent during this crisis, like our other islands are as well.
Yeah. That's one of the things that you can definitely see, where everyone is just pitching in. Real family across the OECS.
Yeah, I saw in Barbados today as well that they delayed the restart of schools because of the scale of the cleanup required.
Yeah, I think just before we came on, I think there was a press conference in Barbados with the Ministry of Education, and they were talking about that. Look, on top of COVID and what everybody's been dealing with across the region, in the Eastern Caribbean, the volcano, you can argue, has come at the wrong time. Just as you were trying to say, okay, we can begin to see a path out of this. Most of the Eastern Caribbean has got enough vaccinations to inoculate quite a substantial proportion of the populations. They were now beginning to get that going, even though some were a bit slower off, but they were now beginning to get that going across Europe. They were now saying, yeah, travel can start in a few months. I'm sure the tourism ministries across the region were like, right, let's get ourselves ready and figure out how we're going to capitalize on this stuff as well. And just as that was going to, and then of course, kids going back to school. And just as you were going to get ready for that, this has happened,
Yeah, and how difficult it will be now to make that whole transition. I mean, on Monday, I think it was on Monday when I was having a chat with Stacia. And if you haven't seen that live we did on Monday, just to get an early perspective, just go back and have a look at that, guys. It was really interesting to hear the whole perspective around children, because it does feel as though this has been a very, very hard year for our children in the Caribbean. And the longer they remain out of school, the more difficulty we know we will see with this whole inequality issues across how they compare with kids in other parts of the world who themselves are also suffering as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah.
it's going to hit our Caribbean kids quite heavily
Mm-hmm.
because again, learning from home is a really different experience to a kid in England or a kid in the Caribbean. The infrastructure is so different, the availability of devices. It
Mm.
just feels as though that whole experience has been very, very heavy, not just there in Barbados where we are today, but across the region more broadly. And I'm really, really concerned how this is now going to move forward.
Yeah, and it's something to be said as well for your mental state when you can begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then it seems to be taken away right as you were just there. There's something to be said for that, as how that impacts your mental stability as well. You're like, okay, we're now coming out of this, and you could see the light, and then the light turn into an oncoming train, and it's like and you do, as opposed to be the end of the tunnel, and there's a lot to be said for how that will impact people mentally as also. So I really hope people just hang in there, stay strong, and we'll get through this. We'll get through this. But the impact is going to be real.
Yeah.
There's no getting away from that part of it. And that's why communication is really good. I see Prime Minister Gonzalez, he was, out and about talking to people, because I think he recognized the significance of leadership and not just management, of being a leader, being on the ground and not just being prime minister. That's really, really important in times like this, especially a prolonged period of crisis. And then something like this happens as well. So I think he's really understood what that means. Again, you could agree, disagree with his politics, all you want. At this point in time, I think that has to go through the window. It's time enough to talk about that sometime in the future. But at this point in time, his leadership and just being on the ground and speaking to people has been pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's something that we often take for granted. Sometimes you got to put the politics to one side for a moment, because leaders who are visible in a crisis can make a difference. And sadly, sometimes a crisis might not work for a leader, because people can buckle. But we can see, Prime Minister Gonzalez being very, very visible
Yeah.
in what's happening, and that is his style. He is one who likes to be in the heart of what's happening, and this particular crisis has really shown how he has come to the fore and really been leading the troops from the front.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely his style in these kind of times. Come with the hour, come with the man, so to speak. And I think the crisis has allowed him to be him, and I think people are responding to that, irrespective of what political persuasion they are. From what I see, definitely, across the different media outlets in St. Vincent, people have been really responding to that.
Yeah. So look, the guys are up and running, and I'm gonna drop back out and let you guys carry on.
I'm just gonna let him take over, to be honest with you, and he's gonna narrate what he's seeing, what he's doing, and what's not. So not much of a conversation there. I know he's got someone driving with him, and he's pretty much doing that. But Ronaldo, you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, excellent. Where are you heading down now?
We are heading to Six Rose. Actually, we are going to a place called the Pastor Sunbury Plantation. But as you can see, it's not too dusty here. Because of the in between the cameras and the it's rather open, so to speak. So the wind is actually blowing the dust off the road. But we'll see how bad it gets when we get to Six Roads. But remember, it was very bad yesterday.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad at Six Roads.
Watching Sunbury Plantation right now. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna go to the gas station in Six Roads, and then we're going to drive through Emerald City and up to Carter's. Then we're going to make our way through the Curtains.
Excellent. And guys who are watching,
and the drive to the airport to this Sunbury Plantation there.
Yeah. And guys who are watching, don't worry, he's not using his phone and driving. Someone is driving him, and he's in the passenger seat. So don't worry, all safety precautions are being met here right now. I guess the key in Six Rows is if Shafet close, because that's usually what tells you if Barbados is really in crisis or not.
It's true. That would tell us. It's good.
And anyone who's in from across the region knows that as well.
The roads here are not too bad
Hmm.
as we approach the roundabout. As we approach the roundabout, I see there's not much dust here on the roadways. I don't know if it has been cleaned, but these side roads there's a lot of dust.
Mm. Well, I suppose the main roads, a lot of people have been traversing them probably in the last few days, so it's probably
Right.
kick up and move that to the side. But the side roads, where may not have had a lot of traffic.
We're gonna stop in the gas station for a minute. So, but let's pause there. As you can see, there's not much dust here. It's a little dusty, but there's not a lot of dust here.
Hmm.
So we're gonna go in the gas station for a minute, and then take a look around in the gas station. And actually gonna get out the vehicle and walk around the gas station. I guess I'm gonna get out of the vehicle in a minute because I don't want to be on live in the gas station.
No, no.
So you can see it's rather dusty in the gas station of itself.
Hmm.
All of dust. Sidewalks are rather dusty.
Hmm. Is it very slippery as well? Because I know that was one of the
Um,
concerns.
So you can see that it's not that slippery,
Hmm.
but there's a lot of dust here
You got
in the
someone in
gas
the
station.
chat just asking if that's Ronaldo Sargent. Her name is Pet. She
Yes, it
says,
is.
if it is, that's my cousin. Yes, it
Yes,
is,
it
Pet. Okay, so it's still pretty thick down there as well.
yeah,
But
the
it's
sidewalk.
moving around as people start. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's still fairly. There's a lot of you can see the roadways.
Hmm. But people in general seem to be moving around still, though.
Yeah,
And besides gas stations and stuff, which seemingly is still open,
right.
but are most businesses closed?
We're gonna drive through Emerald City.
Okay. Yeah.
The Fed seems to be closed.
Oh, crisis on
Just
another
give me a
scale
minute.
now. Okay, so he's just walking around and just showing us what's
Right.
happening there.
Shafet is closed for sure.
Oh, I see that.
You can see the dust. There's a
Yeah.
lot of dust right here. I'm gonna take a walk over to Emerald City.
Hmm.
A lot of dust.
Mark and I were talking earlier, Ronaldo, about people power washing down car parks and different things. Have there been some directives on that to obviously stop
Um,
using as much water?
right there had asked you. I think that is the general manager of the water authority,
Hmm.
Roy Halliday. I think that's his name. He said remind us that we are still in a drought.
Right.
We've been in a drought for quite a long time actually. The rainfall has been down a lot, so he's advising to use as minimal amount of water as possible.
Hmm.
Yes, people drive me through here, Shafet, but
They're having a
Shafet is
peak.
closed. Shafet is closed.
They're hoping. They're hoping.
Yeah, when Shafet, a lot of people say that when Shafet is closed, we're in trouble.
Indeed. But the supermarket is still open, it seems, so that's good.
Take a little walk around. There's a lot of dust in the car park. Let me see, cross by the bank.
Hmm.
You see, I don't know if you can take how well you can take a dust.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it pretty clearly. Yeah, we can
Right.
see quite a lot of dust all over the place.
ones
Have there
wearing
been
their mask.
any major road accidents or anything like that?
Well, we've seen a couple accidents, but they weren't major. We saw, I think it was a ZR that ran off the road. A ZR ran off the road. Um,
ZR is a minibus for those in across the region who don't
right.
know Bajan lingo. Loads of people from across the region watching, so ZR is Bajan, but minibus.
Yeah. I will walk this way. As you can see, it's rather dusty here. It's cars fast.
Yeah. So there's gonna be an element of just praying that you get like 2 or 3 days of rain.
Actually, when the rain fell the first day of the ashfall, I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And that's a good thing because realistically, we haven't had that much rain fall in a long time. You see, it's very thick. It's very thick here.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very thick here.
I guess the problem though with the rain is now you got to keep the drains clear because this stuff, while it might wash into the drain, is not going to move much after that.
It's very, 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 very dusty here. There's the bank. You can actually walk
I can
through
see it.
parts.
Yeah.
Walk through parts of Emerald City here now.
Yeah.
Then we'll take a walk to the garters. If I see anyone that I know, I would ask them a question or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I see anyone I know, I would ask a question. So you're gonna
You never know. You
to
might see
walk
somebody
past
I know
with
too,
this
because I'm a St. Philip man myself. So you might see somebody I know.
Right, this is here by. I think it's probably the line by the post office.
Post office, yeah.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of activity here.
Okay, well, people look like
Right.
they're out and about
That's the
again.
post. This is the post office here in Citrus.
Well, yeah. Well, it's good to see that people out and about, and hopefully everyone takes the necessary precautions with the mask and stuff. Although I'm surprised, I'm surprised everyone is still in short pants and stuff because I thought you should be really protecting yourself from this dust on your skin.
Yeah, and this is the line. This is the line for the supermarket. So market still has a lot of people though, honestly. Yes, Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Right. This is out by the credit union here now. This line will be all down where I am. As you can see, the markings. There are the markings.
Yeah.
The
The distancing.
But
Someone says that thanks for highlighting the rest of the island because I guess folks in different parts of the island not sure how other areas are doing. So someone is enjoying the fact that they can see what's happening in St. Philip.
Right. So we're gonna take a little walk up to Carter's now. See how it goes. Well, it's not as dusty as it was yesterday, so.
Well, as people move around and start to move around in cars and stuff, some of the dust is gonna get redistributed, right? So
here, this part of the car park is rather clear and rather clean. You can see that there was actually someone cleaning because there's all the ash
to the gutter
piled up
to the side. Yeah, I can see that.
Today is not as bad. For sure, I will take a drive through the airport. I'll take a drive through the airport so I can see how big the airport is. But yesterday I went into Carter's to get a hose nozzle and it was rather bad.
Yes, Elizabeth.
So the roads are rather clear, in my opinion. There's not much dust here.
Okay.
I don't know if this guy out here is open, but I would like to talk to him and find out how the dust has been affecting his business. I really hope he's here. This is
Someone is. Oh, he's off. Oh, thanks for that, Pachula, for letting us know. There's just been another eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, as I said earlier, we just don't know how long this is going to carry on. This is going to continue for quite some time. You're on mute, Mark.
Okay, we saw some familiar places there. I think Ronaldo's back in with us.
Yeah, he's back in. All right, we're back in, Ronaldo.
all right. Back here again. Sorry with that.
That's all right. We expect that to happen from time to time.
All right.
Hi, Didi. How you doing? Yeah, Mark says hello too.
So come, let me talk to you for a minute. Come. I want to know how the dust has been affecting you. How's the dust been affecting you? See it here.
I would say that it's a little rough. I do a lot of cleaning and things, but I always think with people in St. Vincent, so we got thank you, give credit. That's all I can say.
And you were still working at the airport?
Nah,
Okay, I thought you were still.
COVID talking about working at the
Okay.
airport, so that's what you want to do.
Okay, all right. This is Ozzy. We call him Ozzy.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Yeah,
All right, good.
Thank you, dear bro.
Good man. And this is Shop Smart.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Kiara. Hers out here was I don't know if it was because it was a bit more dry than today than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was today. Here was crazy yesterday. I see a lot of ash on the ground.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ash here. Okay, he's closed. The guy wanted to see if he was open, and normally there'd be vendors here.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, there's no one here today. And ash out here is thick up here. There he is.
As expected. For those who don't join us, we're in 6 rows in Barbados.
Yeah, this is Rose. This is the guy you want to talk to here. His name is Don. He's a idle food chef. I just want to ask him how the idle food, best idle food in Barbados. But this guy Don. Don,
All right,
what's up?
He get plugged there.
It is crazy out here.
Let's keep it clean. We live here with
Keep it clean.
we are live. We global. We just asking you how has the dust been? Come on,
The dust is ridiculous right now. You can't really. With my food, I had to close down the window, and people is calling me from orders, and they know I got food, so they're coming and they're dealing with me through that. But you can't leave the window open or nothing because the dust is going to keep flowing in. It's going to keep piling up. They should have had a street sweeper or something to take this dust off the street. You can't expect us to be out here shoveling up volcanic ash. You know what I mean? So everything was going good, man, and this is just another blow. I don't understand what's going on. But we do need some help. We need some assistance, man. They need to do something about it. As far as the ground, like in the industrial park, we should have got this washed out. We should have got some street sweepers and washed it out. But I don't know what they're doing, man.
But you're still open though.
Of course. I thought
I
vital.
actually passed there yesterday, but I thought you were closed.
No, when I opened yesterday, I closed immediately because it was so much dust and I didn't understand what was going on, how it was going to affect me. So I just shut down. I didn't want to risk that with the food. But then when I realized if I keep the window closed and the back window, no air is coming in through there, in terms of like wind blowing. So I just ended up cooking and just let people order their food and they come and pick it up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that again tomorrow because people don't really want to travel in this dust, and you know what I mean.
And you made a point there, but you're in an industrial area. I think that that is a key point.
Yeah, we got a lot of us that's running businesses or manufacturing things, and I would have thought that this would have got some type of, peripheral treatment or something. They came forward with some hoses and washed this down. We got drainage, but and they tell you don't use your pipe. Nobody's gonna just turn on a pipe and wash down the place. You know what I mean? So I would like the government to give us some assistance, man. Send some street sweepers out here, man. That would have solved the problem. That would have took everything off the curb because right now, as cars drive by, the cars is blowing back up the dust. I wipe down, I wash down my whole stall. It don't matter. It's still gonna keep. As long as they driving by, especially they zooming by, it's gonna kick up.
So let's tell us a bit about the Dawn Garden Kitchen.
Yes, it was the garden kitchen, still the garden kitchen, but Dawn Garden Kitchen officially. Through Ito Food, I try to keep things natural. Try not to use no preservatives, no pre-packaged stuff. No, take a look. Let me see the shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Try to
you
do no,
take a look at the
no
shop.
pre-packaged
Yeah,
nonsense.
have a little look, man. Why not? We talking to real people.
Oh, okay,
You're live.
okay.
This is We Global. We as in WIUS in. And this is another business here.
Sandra,
Is another business. Is Doyle.
Mhm.
They make sales and other stuff. So
you see the bartender
as he
now?
walks, you can see as he walks, you can see the dust. This is on the
Oh, wow.
grass.
Crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All my plants, all my herbs. This is fresh oregano. You see it's covered with that ash. You have peppers here, hot peppers, bloodroot. These clean your system. Hyssop, like in Psalms 51, purge me with hyssop so I'll be clean. This is the hyssop they're talking about.
So
Some potatoes and cucumbers and some
I can see on the main counter because it's a very small operation, but
see, look, I couldn't even open. I had to close back my window back down, even though I got a mesh screen and everything to protect me from regular dust. This is a little different. This is microscopic, and they say they got rocks and glass particles in it, so I don't want a chance I get into my food at all. So I close all the windows facing the breeze or wash down to try to get some of the heat from off my spot. Yeah, wow.
Now, I think what it's highlighting though is obviously the ash is having an impact on small business and micro businesses
Yeah, it does.
in a very huge way, you know.
Yeah, because we're kind of outdoors. We're kind of exposed to the element a little more simpler than a big giant business with closed doors. It's very hard. I don't understand. And they making it seem like this is a regular day. This is a catastrophe. Nobody can operate under these conditions. Look at me.
at least
my sign. I had to take it down and put it on the side here.
You're open and Shafet is closed.
They should be closed anyway.
Anyhow, we get into that.
This is COVID time. You want healthy
Wait,
food.
move
You don't
on.
want that junk.
Yeah, before we get sued, move on.
Yeah, so
You know what? But tell me the truth.
we got to
When you lied on.
right, well, what we're gonna do is my transition come back. That's no. So we're gonna head across the curtains.
Yeah,
And
head
then-
across the curtains.
Good, no problem. You can see a lot of people still in the hardwares. As they say, this is carriers.
Yeah,
When the guys come back around, we'll just get in the vehicle and we'll head the curtains. And then hopefully if the roadway to the airport is open, we can drive in because they said that the airport is closed until the 16th, I think, which is Friday.
Yeah.
Today's the 14th, today's Wednesday, right? Until Friday. So a lot of people buying stuff. I want enough to get anyone coming out of carriers and see what they're buying, see if they're still getting stuff to clean up. Only way you can ask a question about anybody coming out of carriers or going in.
No, but the sentiment. I mean, the first guy
just want to ask a quick question. You all guys.
Before I got the cash, you hold.
Okay, sorry. Hey, come. We just want to talk to you quickly. We're just asking you how is the cleanup going?
Clean up yesterday. I had too much cleaning today because didn't have as much access yesterday. But as I come out here, it's really dirty.
Yeah.
All the my sitting in the shop, really dirty. But much people keep going slow. To avoid. I don't got one now though.
All right, thank you. Right. She said she didn't have much cleaning to do, but today is not as busy as it was yesterday. There's a lot of cars out here, yes, but you're not seeing a lot of people going in and out of cars. Here's me ask this lady a question. Once you see, look at my shoes. I have on black shoes, by the way.
Not no.
I didn't expect it to be this bad. I didn't expect it to be this bad. So let's take a little walk around, and then I'm going to get in the vehicle and we're going to drive across the curtains.
Yeah.
and then up to the airport, and we
No,
will
that's
see.
great. That's great. I think that was a good walkthrough to show, again, how small businesses are impacted. I mean, not all businesses are impacted, but the guy with Ito Food, he actually growing fresh herbs and stuff to actually use to cook, and a lot of that spoil now.
He
So
he takes his he takes he takes his business very seriously because he believes that a lot, you said, a lot of the foods that we are actually eating.
yeah, he's a natural food man, which is fine.
He really, but he the sicker than ever. He real serious about this. He
That's all
real,
right.
real.
The next time I'm in Barbados, I will pass by him after he had a roti.
Yeah. But what happened is I'm using my phone, so I can't call the guys to see where they are. This is the back part of martial trading, which is normally a type of activity. But okay, here the guys coming. The guys coming.
Okay.
The guys
That's
coming.
it.
So we're gonna. As
All
you
right.
see, this is
Fantastic.
first. But
Look, and for
as you
everyone
said,
who else who's watching, we're in Barbados at the moment. Just seeing how the dust is affecting everyone, and just seeing how the cleanup program is going. Obviously, don't know how long this situation is going to go on, but as that's happening, people have got to be constantly cleaning to make sure that the buildup isn't as much as or make things worse, so to speak. So we just taking a little tour around. That was Ronaldo there. He'll be back a little bit later. But we in St. Philip, and he was in 6 rows just now, if you know Barbadian geography. He was in the southeast part of the island there for a bit. And we're going to stick around that area to see how things are going. Hey, Mark, you back there? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, man. I
You
just
you
said
you
I,
you know you new to this thing.
nah, I just said sitting down in the, I sitting down in the background laughing too hard, so that's why I got to keep muting myself.
Hey Bernadette, we see you there. Hey Michael, we see you there as well. Thanks for joining. Dale Ford, thanks for joining as well. And guys, and that's there. Hit share, join in the conversation as well. Let us know if you're in Barbados. Let us know how things are in your area. If you're in St. Lucia, St. Vincent, or Grenada, anywhere as well. Just let them know how things are doing in your country, in your territory, as far as the dust is concerned. As I was saying earlier, I know in Grenada didn't have it as bad as Barbados, obviously, but I think they're still being impacted quite a bit as well by the dust blowing through, also, and the drift of the dust blowing through. So just let us know in the comments. Just let us know how things are where you are as well, and we'll keep an eye, because we're hearing that there was another, even while we were here just now, there was another eruption of La Soufrière. So we'll keep an eye, see if we can find out anything about that as well, and post it also, or you guys let us know in the chat what's happening as well with that.
Yeah, so you can have some actual food next time you're in Barbados, huh?
After.
Good thing we had it. Good thing we get you off camera before you said so. Cause I'm sure how that would have gone down.
I wasn't sure where he was going with that, right? But I was like, no, move on.
Oh, God,
Don't get me in trouble. But no, I think it's good to see, and I think the I forgot his name, but the guy we were talking to in the red car, he was saying, as bad as he's having it, Aussie, as bad as he's having it, he knows the people in St. Vincent are having it even worse. So as far as he's concerned, nothing to complain about. You just got to write it through, And I think that's the general sentiment right across the region that we're seeing. Even in Barbados, that's impacted heavily with the dust. Is yes, it's an inconvenience. Yes, it's pretty bad, but we know the guys in St. Vincent are having it worse. So really and truly, they're not even focused on themselves in context of what's happening in St. Vincent, and that's a good sentiment to have and the right way to think about things too.
Absolutely. Let's jump back into the drive to curtains.
all right. So we just passed through 6 rows. We passed through Emerald City, Emerald Park. Sorry, we're not passing Emerald Park West and heading towards Curtin. A truck passed us just now, and we had to stop. Couldn't see anything. So this is.
So you're on your way to 4 roads. There's nursery on the left hand side. Yeah.
Correct. So we're going across. Some people are still driving a bit too fast.
Well, I was just gonna say the car that was approaching was actually driving as if everything was fine.
Right. As Goose is saying, everything is fine. As he mean it does.
Yeah.
A lot of cars here full of dust still.
I see it. Someone in the chat there, Schoolboy, was saying that the houses next to the roads are grey.
Yeah. But the thing about it, once ash doesn't get wet, it comes off rather easily.
I think the as Schoolboy was there saying, I think the issue as well is going to be the guttering, because you can wash a lot of this stuff down in the gutter, but the problem is going to rest
When
there.
it settles in the gutter, what is going to happen?
Exactly, exactly. Is when the dust gets to somewhere that you can't see, and it's just mounting up, and then is once you get into the rainy season as well, which is fast approaching, and if it's anything like last year, it's probably going to start earlier than before, then that's going to create a lot of issues too.
On the road, I mean, you're not seeing as much cars on the road to normal.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And you're not seeing as much pedestrians. I only saw one person cleaning the house yesterday. One person. She was basically wiping off the mailbox in the gallery.
Yep, going up there to our excursions, the corner.
Actually,
Bus depot. The bus depot on the right hand side, I guess, going across.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
I know where he is, man.
So we are approaching the junction to Curtains right now. We can actually drive through the
Gas station.
but I'm just hoping that the airport they allow you to drive in through the airport because
We'll see when we get there. We don't want you get locked up on camera, so.
based on the video that I saw, it right for the gas station. Yeah, based on the video I saw, I mean the airport cleanup that was a massive task.
Yeah, but it's cleaned up now. Then the airport.
Yeah, hold on. You guys are here cleaning up the guys are actually here cleaning up the car park. They're washing the hosing down and local journalists there, Ezra Stewart there.
Right.
And the guys there washing down, you can see. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, that's
See
interesting.
the ball in the boat that you up again? Okay. And then we're gonna head across the right through the Skirters now. We're gonna head towards the airport. Here.
Yeah, so you're going at St. Martin's.
Demswick. Yeah, to St. Martin's and Demswick.
Okay.
I don't know, ask if she's going to Ashbury or Ashford. There by the bus stop.
But that's another thing. Are the transport board buses still running, or are they on pause?
Yes.
I thought they're
They never stop. They're limited, but they never stop.
okay. So
And
the
I think
transportation network
I'm not
kept going.
seeing a lot of the other types of transportation besides the I forgot what the name of the program is called. It's a program where private guys actually driving on the roads that the transport buses go. And I haven't seen much of those guys on the road. A lot of them were limited during COVID, but not seeing a lot of them. Majority of the drivers that we're seeing are actually driving slow, but there's not much dust out here as you can see.
Yeah, I can see
Major
that.
roadways, as you see, they don't have a lot
Yeah.
of dust, a lot of these small roads and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would think the major roads where a lot of traffic has been passing, as I say, the dust would get dispersed in that way. And if it has been not as much dust over the last few days, then there's a bit of respite there.
See, and the shop here is open actually. Parky's Place, got a couple of guys out there liming, but that is not advised right now with COVID because although we have the asphalt, you still have to remember that we're still
Exactly, still on the COVID protocols. Yeah.
This is Trademark Express here. Not have much people there. Car parked, other dusty.
Yeah, I would imagine that's pretty dusty over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of dust in that car park actually. This part of the road, that you come across to the point to the junction to Green Point. There's a lot of dust here, right in this car.
Yeah. I would imagine that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of people cleaning outside as past couple of days. I think we were hoping that the ash doesn't come again. I think a lot of people were waiting, but still a lot of people were still trying to clean as much as they could at the time. They say clean a little today and clean a little tomorrow.
Hmm.
That's what that it's all about that.
Yeah, well, I think that's the right way that people are gonna approach it. Right. Again, it's just the uncertainty of how long is this gonna go on. So there's that uncertainty, as well as I guess people don't want to keep doing it every day, having to do the same thing.
They did it every day though. They cleaned every day.
Hmm.
Wash a little because every day say you're going outside and your step is dirty, you're going to carry it back inside.
Well,
So
true
at
too.
least,
Yeah.
step and the patio just pass through King Garden. I guess there is a King Garden in St. Thomas in St. Philip, sorry.
Hmm.
There's one in St. Philip and there's one in St. Andrew too as well.
And then one in St. Thomas as well, St. Michael.
That's King Garden, St. Thomas, King Garden, St. Andrew, King Garden, St. Philip.
Yeah.
Don't know that. This we are passing Gemswick
Yeah.
and here's where it's called the Penny Hole.
Oh, I know it there, man.
Right. The people at the bus stop. They did a couple kids there.
Yeah, and this road is doesn't look as dusty at all as you were saying. It's going to be the
Right.
side roads, that's
Side
going to
road.
have a bit of an issue.
I don't know if it was cleaned or if that was just lack of the wind.
And is it windy at all or not really?
Not really. I was
Okay.
saying it like when you're a boy coming out, you want to fly your kite. You know that Good Friday is the day to fly your kite.
Hmm.
You always remember that the weeks leading up to Good Friday, there's a lot of rain,
Hmm.
and the day of Good Friday, there isn't much rain. That's
Hmm.
exactly what happened. As soon as it was Good Friday, the wind had settled down, and we're coming out to the airport here now as well. And there's a lot of there's major construction going on at the airport. I think they were resurfacing the runway, and I don't think that they I don't think that they I don't know if they're lengthening or anything, but I know they were resurfacing it for sure.
Hmm. Were there anyone feeling any, I don't know, aftershocks, any tremors, anything at all in Barbados? Anything like that was been happening?
Me personally didn't feel anything, but
Okay.
sometimes there are tremors that some people would feel it, some people
Hmm.
might not. Then there's some people that um but only notice that something happens after someone tells them.
Oh, okay.
So they're approaching the port now. Uh, See how it goes. If we can just turn off. Right, right.
You could go through there.
Okay, good. Well, you can see a small street sweeper. Let's see
Hmm.
if we can roll down the windows. But there's a small street sweeper here. Doing a little cleaning up.
Okay.
Guys washing down, as you can see.
Right.
Take fast.
You sure you could go in there?
Doing some washing down. You see at the arrival hall, the departure hall is clean because that's what you see most of. Yeah, the guys are working actually. It's rather clean. It's rather clean. It's rather clean.
Well, I would imagine because I mean this is the airport, so you gotta get that
It's
up and running as soon as
based on the
possible.
video
So,
that based on the video that we saw, it is rather clean.
hey, Liz, how you doing? Welcome.
Yeah. Right. Well, uh,
Yeah, based on the last videos that I saw of the airport, this is brilliant.
What I'm seeing here is I can see a definite line on the ground. I don't know if that's how far they've cleaned to. Well, no, right here is dusty. That's dust. That's dust. All down here is still
Still
dirty,
dusty. Yeah.
still ashy. Yeah. The airport closed. Right. They're trying to figure out if the airport post office is closed. So all down here
I would think the whole
is
thing is closed,
dusty.
isn't it?
Yeah. And these are some of the guys that work here. Yeah. You see that they were washing down here, right here. They started. Whoa, there's a lot of ash here. Yeah, right here there's a lot of ash, and it looked like the pathway from the departure lounge is washed.
Yeah.
Begin to wash, but all down here, all here, all here, it's just dust. The roadways with dust. So based on what I'm saying is like they just sprinkle the roadway to keep down some of the dust.
Yeah. But you would expect that you would prioritize the airport though, because you need to get that up and running as possible, as fast as possible.
This based on what I'm saying here, this is going to take a little while. All
Yeah.
that you're saying right here is ash.
Oh, so that's ash all across the road
All over here, all over.
there. Wow.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna head down to Oysters now, and then
Okay.
we're gonna see if we can find, well, even the road and the roundabout has a lot of ash. I don't know, it's clean. It's clean. On the sidewalks was there.
Yeah, pretty thick there still.
Here's dusty. Oh, here's really dusty. Someone in the chat asked if we've been to the north.
The
We
north,
went
yes.
to I did not go right to St. Lucie, but I went through St. Andrew yesterday. Actually, I was live on the road to St. Andrew, was highlighting the sea and all the ash that I thought that the sea would be a bit murky, but it was actually quite clear. Sand on the east coast wasn't as black as some of the videos I saw at transport board bus passing.
The
Has
electric
all
bus
switched
moving
down.
fast, man.
Yeah, we're driving that fast.
Okay.
We're driving at about 40 right now, so that we get a good clean video.
Yeah.
I was saying the beaches on the east coast, they're not as dark as some of the beaches that we saw, like Carlisle Bay, and we saw a video from Bow Bay.
Mm.
It was completely black, but the east coast was rather clean, except for a little of the sargassum seaweed that was coming in. It
Yes.
was rather clean. As we see outside the sky, we can't tell if that is cloud or ash. It has been overcast. The last time I saw clear skies was 2 days after the first ash fall. That was Monday night, I think it was, when we actually looked up and we saw the stars.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're getting a little
By
bit of.
Martin,
Okay.
heading to these things. As you can see, these are major roads, so there isn't much dust.
No, I don't see much dust being kicked up at all. So I mean, at the moment, that's a good thing.
I'm not seeing a lot of people doing their cleaning. So they're probably, I don't know if the eruptions last night, how violent the eruptions were, and if they would send any ash this way. But I think a lot of people are waiting because they see how hard it is to clean, to be constantly cleaning. And then, I just said, the water authority advises persons to use as little water as possible.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
So it should always
What
we got
has the
we got go
even
ahead.
even as you drive and we can see generally in Barbados, what has the drive been like for the relief drive for St. Vincent?
Um, it's asking a lot of persons to contribute. Um, I don't know how well it has been going because it wasn't following that close. Um, like they want, there's certain things that they're asking for, and I saw that Barbados Defense Force and the Coast Guard went down very early. They had some supplies and they went down, but there are a lot of persons still collecting stuff, asking for donations, especially of water, to send down to St. Vincent.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah,
different organizations have been asking for. A lot of different organizations have been asking for stuff. This is Pilgrim Road right now.
right.
When we get the license, I'm going to ask. I'm going to walk around to some of the vendors. I'm not sure if the fish markets had they're closed because I know they had closed. Some of the fish markets, Bruce told me that they're closed.
Mm.
But whatever, get the license, walk around and
Besides vehicular accidents, has there been any other, ash related issues or incidents that has happened?
well, the one well, we heard about a person that had passed away from asthma. That's associated with the ash, but that I haven't really heard of asthma. I don't know how the asthmatics are doing right now. Some of my friends are posting have to be on nebulizers and stuff like that.
Mm.
They haven't seen much accidents or incidents. But there was one guy that they said when the report first came out, they said that he had fallen off his roof, which was
Hmm.
incorrect. He had passed, right from St. John had passed, but
But it
when it
wasn't from
first
falling
happened,
off his roof.
right, it wasn't because apparently he was clean the roof, but he did not fall from the roof.
Right.
I haven't heard about uh, much incidents. Right.
And anybody come up with the best way to help clean up the ash from the house and the different places? Because
Well,
I see using a broom is not the right way to do it.
but I saw someone take a broom and put microfiber cloth over it.
Yes.
Put a
You
microfiber
try you
cloth
try
over
that?
it. I did do it because areas they had to clean right only outside. Well, there's
Right.
not much ash being swept off some of it with the broom. Then you could wash it down easily. But
Hmm.
what I found is that even after I mopped an area, it still felt gritty, and I mopped it thick. I had the mop wet, and it was still gritty I mopped. So I had mopped 2 or 3 times.
Hmm.
So this road hardly has any dust on it.
Right.
You see a little in this patch, but where we are now isn't very dusty. Like I said, I'm traversing and looking around. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing anyone doing much cleaning. A lot of people aren't doing a lot of cleaning. They don't know if they did
Okay.
it yesterday or the day before, but yeah, you're not seeing.
No, people on pause, man. I think.
We were all quite ironically is that curfew would have been lifted um, on Monday.
Hmm.
Monday ago was the end of curfew. Well, sorry, the partial end of curfew because Prime Minister gave you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday without curfew. But all the rest of days curfew started at 11 as opposed to the 9 o'clock curfew, and
Right.
then it was from 11 to 5. So I don't know if you can see guys the road is blocked because they're moving a container here, 40-foot container. So the curfew was, I know a lot of people had a lot of plans, but I was on the road Monday night and I hardly saw any vehicles. So, so the ash, yeah, this is part of talking again. Here's a place called Kermit's Bar. Kermit's Bar is partially open. Dust cutters. Goosey, you get dust cutter today. And there's someone here watching, you know. Some guys here, but some guys here doing a little watching, you know. Right there. Here. This is Will Castle.
Yeah. Right here.
Tom Berry Hill.
No, I was gonna say then Wilcox Hill behind the airport.
Right side. Tom Berry Hill. Heading towards White Sands.
Mm-hmm. And how's the hill? Is the hill, I guess, is it dusty or is it?
I'm hardly seeing any dust on the hill.
Okay, good.
You can see a lot of cars, but they're not kicking up a lot of dust.
No, I don't see much dust being kicked up at all, so that's good.
That's good. So, but the drains having a lot of dust actually.
Yeah, I must admit, I think that's the key thing that when I think about it, I'm worried about is the drains.
Because actually we had a can outside our house that it was empty on it was Saturday night, I think it was.
Mm.
And then the next morning it was full. But when we used some of the water to wash down the yard, down to the bottom, the ash was quite thick. I cannot believe how thick it was and almost like clay.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost in Oysters here right now. This is Dollar Wise, formerly known as Basic Supermarket.
Yeah. Hey, Dorio.
Hey, Dorio. See your Oysters. You're gonna park in Oysters and you're gonna walk around. I said we can go see how the beach looks, stuff, and park over here. Beer garden. This is Oysters. Main part of Oysters. See, there's not much activity here.
No.
Not much activity here.
That's their grandfather.
Oh, yes, it's right. There's some guys here. Let me get them. Right, I'm gonna get out.
Is that ash amongst the plants there as well?
Yeah, there's ash. There's a lot of ash on the ground. There's a guy here doing some cleaning. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Just asking how the cleanup is going.
Don't get everybody doing their hands. It works good.
You see, you have a
You gotta get rid of stuff and things because the open place is full, so you gotta make sure all the dust gone and everything clean. Right. So when we open it, we got stuff to affect nobody when they eat it. So we got to clean all the roofs and everything go clean. Okay. So far, trying to get all the dust, all kind of stuff off the ground and stuff like that.
So there's this cleanup going on out there too as well. All now.
We have all the guys at lunch. As you can don't hear, you see some stuff. You see everything already.
Okay.
You see people down below here.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, brother. Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It's thick.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while. This is a very hard.
How I guess this is a question I have as well. How do you get the dust off the beach?
Well, you gotta hope you see does that. I just want him to like wipe an area on the bench that has a lot of dust so you can see how much dust it. It's doing here, look at
Yeah. Wow.
it's getting gone.
Oh, yellow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Let
I'm
me
gonna
see
take a
Mark.
walk. Hey, look at top table. There. Crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Um, this is KFC.
Mm-hmm.
There's a line. There's a line here by KFC. So I can find my mask.
Yeah, Marvin was saying it's the same thing in St. Vincent when the rainfall, and the ash, just looked like clay.
Yeah, I mean that's put on my mask here. This is the Oysters area, and this is the Oysters Bay Gardens. But this
For
is
those who don't know, this is the very south of Barbados.
Oysters Bay Garden is the area in Barbados that's promoted the most for Friday nights.
Indeed.
This is KFC. You can see there's also the drive-through line. So
Yeah.
this is where the action goes on, and you can see people are cleaning up.
But even before the ash, with the protocols, though, was Oystins Friday nights able to go ahead?
Yeah, this is a good look at this. Look.
Wow.
Not only going to show how much dust there is here, but some people are making a steady progress here. All right, we got a guy here. We got a guy here doing some sweeping. Me see if we get a quick word with him. Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to know we can talk to y'all guys about how the cleanup is going. As you can see, there's a major cleanup going on here.
Yeah.
How's the cleanup going, guys?
Going pretty okay, son. It's going pretty nice.
How long you started?
Started 5:30 this morning.
Wow.
You hear that, guys? He started at 5:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you asked, we're all putting the ash.
Going to the beach.
Okay.
Should he not have his mask on?
Yes. So everybody masked up.
Just keep it, but the people's about to move it.
Oh, there's a pancart full there.
But everyone is pitching in, getting the task done.
Are they people who sell their oysters, or are they cleaners, or this is them cleaning their stalls?
I'll ask the question. So y'all guys like operate from the stalls here?
No.
So y'all just coming to clean?
Yeah, we just coming to clean.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You hear that, guys? They just came in to clean.
Okay, yeah.
We're here for a wash tomorrow.
Right. You say sweet today for a wash tomorrow.
Got it.
You go down a little further. Then today, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Right. The ladies are running. I don't know where they're running. But the ladies are running.
They running from the camera?
Yeah. She showed me someone. I thought the roof cleaning too. So. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. So this is your roof. So you operate here.
Yes.
Good. So this is one of the operators here, guys. You
What's her
said
name? Yes, answer. What's her name?
what's your name?
Uncle George
What's
Fishnet.
your name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia from
Hey,
Uncle
Cynthia.
George.
Hi.
Uh, so we know that y'all were closed a little bit when they had the curfew. You're preparing to open?
Yes, we are.
I thought before the ash came, y'all were open before the ash came.
Yes, we're
And
open.
how has that affected business since then?
Our business is slow, but it's starting to pick up. Ever so slow, you know?
Okay. So you
Every
think
little content is great again.
all right, you feel be ready by this weekend?
I'm literally ready for tomorrow.
You like to be ready by tomorrow, but they're working. As you can see right here, the guys are
Thanks, Cynthia.
I finished and clean today. Everything is done clean today.
all
It
right.
just depends on the committee of oysters if we will open tomorrow.
Okay. You hear that, guys? She personally ready, but she's dependent on the committee of things.
Right. I guess a lot depends on the power wash tomorrow.
Yeah. And as you can see, I'll head across to the beach and see where the guys are putting it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna head across the beach. You see, so the guys here are helping everything. Yeah, fellas. The man run. I got you covered. I got you covered. All right. I got dust all around. There's dust all around.
Mm-hmm. And you say they're putting it on the beach.
Yeah, I said that someone is coming to collect let's call it. Someone is coming to collect ash. But the beach, we are going across the beach. Right here, the sand is not at all ashy. There's no ash on the sand at all.
Okay, that's good. Did it get rake or is it just?
I'm not sure. You can see
the
see
tide
that
coming
right here.
carried out. Mm-hmm.
You can see that right here.
The tide comes up to there.
Right here had ash. Right here, see, we're gonna see if we get up to Miami Beach. I don't know if you can hear me well with this, man.
Yeah, I can hear you good. Yeah, you good.
All right, good. And you can see the beach is rather clear.
No, that's
Water
good.
is not too. Right, so based on what we can see here, there are some persons up by Miami Beach. So I'm gonna take a little walk up there to let you see what's going on here.
Yeah, that's all right. And guys in the audience as well, just let us know if they, you
I
guys
don't
find
see where
this
the
little
guys
tour
are
good.
dumping the ash, but you see, guys working hard. And it's sargassum right there. All right, and then there's ash. So what I can do, I'm gonna walk up to what we call Miami Beach.
Okay. Yeah, let me see what's going on over there.
Yeah, I see a couple people. But there's a lot of ash behind the stalls. It's not as thick as inside where the guys were cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as thick as really inside where the guys were cleaning. And so they're gonna take a little walk to this is the part of oysters not a lot of people see. Right. Right. Guys washing off the benches now.
Hmm. Well, again, the good thing is it's a sunny day, so people could kind of work unhindered. I get, the good thing, if the rain come, it washes off some stuff. But, in an area like where the stalls are, you're wondering how much it will actually move as opposed to just get wet and settle. So it might not be a bad thing if initially they got the good sunshine where they can take off the top of it and take off the most of it and then let the rain fall and kind of carry the rest.
All right. If you can get as much off the sidewalk as possible, but like this sidewalk that I'm on is rather thick.
Hmm.
Well, there's for a person that wondering what a ZR was, this is a ZR, and this is a minivan. This is a
Exactly.
minivan. This is a ZR. So we're heading to there's some people at the bus stops here.
Hmm. Yeah, you can see there on the sidewalk is pretty thick.
Yeah, it is. It's very thick here. Hey, good evening, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Christchurch Post Office.
Hmm.
Some people were saying that the ash itches their skin, and I saw a friend of mine post on her Facebook that the ash has her face broken out. She
Mm.
said she had on a mask, she had on a shield, all right?
But
She
it
had on
still
a
cause
mask, she had
issues.
on a shield. She still had the issue. This is the Oystens Post Office. Some cars, like this one, I don't know if you can see this clearly. This car had a lot of ash on it.
Mm.
I can't remember what this building was. When it was small, this building was in operation. I think this is the old post. This is the old post office.
Then the old library.
Labor. Yeah. And then remember there was coastal zone management unit was here years ago. This is the Oystens police station and the polyclinic, I think.
Okay. Is that a lot of ash that you see in there as well, or not really?
That is, there's a lot of ash on the ground. There's
Mm.
a lot of ash on the ground, and it's blowing. There are persons here. The persons there. I think it's a polyclinic.
Mm.
I think it's a polyclinic. Yeah, there are some people there at the polyclinic, and this is the world famous Miami Beach.
Dusty, ashy, or beach is fine?
Well, the beach is fine, but like where I am now is very dusty. The sea itself, I don't know because I have on yellow
Mm.
glass to help with the dust.
I see people are saying that they're expecting some ash now after the eruption that happened while we were here, actually. So now they're expecting more dust and ash in Barbados.
Right, the beach, as you can see,
Oh,
water
that's
looks
pretty clear.
lovely,
It looks so to me. Hey,
and there's
calling me,
no
man.
huh,
Hey, calling
I
me,
think-
calling me. Hey, Clover.
and there is luckily there's no sargassum here.
Shoot.
There's none. I don't know after this video if you will see people coming to the beach tomorrow. But there are some people on the beach, but they look mostly like tourists to me.
Mm. I suppose it what happened again. I think it's just the uncertainty of the ash in the water, ash on the sand. People aren't sure, that kind of stuff. I think eventually people will get confidence to move again. But as happened when we were here and there at the moment, where you had another eruption, this is just the uncertainty that we're in at the moment, and it could go on. According to Dr. Robson, it could go on for a few weeks, few months, even a year.
Yes, that's a possibility. It is a possibility. But from here, it looks rather clear, right? I'm
Has
hoping,
any? Mhm.
as the experts say, because the dome, the whole dome is gone, that and you have the magma flows, that there won't be the ash. We are
Mhm.
hoping. This is you can see
Let's hope.
the jetty by the the Oysters Fish Market.
Well, one of the things that Dr. Robinson was saying is that the ash should become less now that the dome was blown off. So it might be a lot of gas in the air, whereas you might not see the ash falls as you did in the first couple of days. So that's good. A quick question, Ronaldo: Has there been anything about Bajans living in St. Vincent and evacuations and bringing them home, or people wanting to come home? Has there been anything like that on the news, or been any of the press conferences and what's not?
Well, I personally haven't seen anything. I haven't really seen anything about the Barbadians living in St. Vincent asking to come. I know that a lot of people are evacuated. I know they had the boats, but the cruise ships. But I'm not seeing much of that.
Well, I think most Vincentians wanted to stay home. I don't know if they. So I think even yesterday, I think Gonzalez was saying that he's pretty much asked his cruise ships, they can leave because it doesn't make any sense because most people want to stay home. Was that a tourist there just now? You should have get him a camera and find out how he doing and feeling about.
He's a local. He said
he's a local fella. Okay.
Yeah, he said he can afford to bomb me.
That's all right. Yeah, so a lot of Vincentians wanted to stay in St. Vincent and not be relocated. I think there's a feeling as if a lot of people left, but that's not the case. Most of the people, from what I'm seeing, reading, and just hearing from different sources within St. Vincent, is that most people left in north and were relocated with family down south. And the people that you saw leaving the island were some of the farm workers who were already getting ready to leave to go to Canada. But most people wanted to stay. And I think most of the cruise ships have left Vincentian waters because of that, after speaking with Gonzalez and people speaking with him and saying, no, we'd actually rather stay home than go somewhere else.
There was a video of a guy when the police was asking him to leave. I was here in 79 and the police was telling it worse. No, man said good. He asked if he got enough water. Man said he has enough water. Then he asked if he had enough food. He said he had the key to the shop. But I think the issue was the water for him.
Yeah, because once you run out of that, that's when you begin to get a lot of issues.
Yeah, but as I said, my friend says he's there making sure that water is still flowing. He's the one that told me that they had the eruption last night.
Yeah, but the one last night seemed not to have deposited a lot of ash on Barbados. From what I'm seeing, just from some of the comments that I'm seeing across social media, it seemed not to have had a huge impact. But from what I'm seeing here in the comments on social media, this last eruption seems as if it would bring quite a lot of ash deposits over the next couple of hours.
But that's what it said. But it said that if it had, we would have gotten the deposits already, as you can see.
What, you mean the ones from yesterday, not the one from the last hour?
From yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah. So that one
they
seemed
were saying
not
between an hour and a
impacted.
half. They were saying an hour and a half, but we didn't see any. I hope we don't get any. I'm praying that we don't get any because, as you can see, persons are having a hard time dealing with the ash now, saying that we wanted to. This was our time to start getting some economic activity after the COVID. This was the time that Barbadians could have moved about. They could have moved around as freely as they wanted to, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
Because they said Monday was supposed to be the day we had no curfew.
And schools were getting ready to reopen as well.
And schools were getting ready to open. And we were, you have a lot of persons preparing for, a lot of kids preparing for the common entrance. So we were hoping that we would get a little ease. But Mother Nature has had her say.
Indeed.
As you can
But that's
see,
good. I mean, by and large, it seems as if people on the roads aren't going too crazy with driving and the speed and what's not. And as you said, a lot of the stuff from the main roads have dispersed onto the sides, although the sidewalk look pretty heavy and dangerous at the moment.
as you can see, it deposits there.
Yeah. Has it mainly been dust, or has there been anything larger like rocks or pebbles or anything like that?
Just
No.
dust.
Okay.
Dust and
Okay.
mostly dust, and it's mostly flame.
Hmm.
It's mostly flame. It's mostly flame.
And are you hearing anything regarding like livestock and animals and what's not? I guess people had time to bring them in, but still.
Well, I was listening to one guy, and he was saying he wants the rain to fall because he doesn't want his cows grazing. He doesn't want his cows grazing this
Mm.
ash. I don't know how it's going to affect them in a couple of days. But he was saying that he hopes he get some rain to wash the dust off the grass. That's what he said.
Mm. No, that's good. That's really good. Thank you for giving us this tour, Ronaldo,
No
and the guys in
problem.
the audience as well. Thank you guys very much for being with us. Hit share as well so people can follow and just have a look and see what's happening in Barbados at the moment. That might change over the next couple of hours, given what's happened in the last hour while we were here doing this live stream.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Let's hope for the best there. But we'll be monitoring that as well on our Facebook page, and be sharing as much as we can. If you go on our Facebook page, you'll see how much we've been sharing regarding how Vincentians are doing, how other countries are doing, the different press conferences with Prime Minister Gonzalez as well, and see how he's holding up and how he's orchestrating things there in St. Vincent, as
Hmm.
well as just how people are doing generally. So that's going to be really important over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. The people in St. Vincent are really, really going to need our support. And from what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, even from the few people that Ronaldo spoke to, one of the guys was saying, as much as the ash is affecting him, it seems like nothing compared to what the people in St. Vincent are going through. And that has been and is the general sentiment right across the region. And we just want that, to continue. So wherever you can, I don't know where in areas in Barbados where you can give as much as you can. One of the things that Prime Minister Gonzalez has said is that he was asking people not to send individual things to their families, because at this point in time, none of that's going to get to the port because everything is dealing with a humanitarian need. So it's where you can send, bales and barrels and pallets of stuff is where the attention is going to be given to and prioritized. So if you send in individual things to your family, not necessarily going to happen there. So I think look out for all the collection points. I'm sure the guys in Barbados are doing quite a lot of things, and wherever country you're watching from, they're doing things all over the Caribbean, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. As I said, there were ships from Venezuela, from Bolivia, sending all kinds of stuff. So wherever you're watching, just find out where your collection points are and give. I know, it's hard times after COVID and everything that people have gone through, but think about what the guys in St. Vincent are going through as well. Thank you guys for being with us for the better part of nearly 2 hours, the last hour and 42 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you appreciated it as well. We want to thank Ronaldo. He was out there. We spoke to him and he said, of course, he'll give us a tour and let us see what's going on and how things are being impacted in Barbados. So we want to thank Ronaldo for that. If you're in the audience as well, we just want to hit share. Also, if you're in the audience, just say thank you to Ronaldo as well. So get in the comments and just tell him thank you as well, because I think it's a really good job what he's just done for us over the last hour and 43 minutes or so. So guys, thanks a lot. Keep looking at the page. As I said, we might, I'm not sure now that they've had an eruption, but we might have someone doing a similar thing for us in St. Vincent, and we can see how people on the ground are faring. So keep an eye on our page. If you haven't liked our page yet, do so, so you can see those notifications when we put something out, because we're going to stay with this for a while because we think it's important to support our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent. So thanks a lot for being with us. Have a fantastic afternoon.